I read somewhere that Phil Lynott,
Yeah,
that you met him.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
When did you meet him?
I was probably 16 or 17 or something. It did give me a positive view of heroes and idols because he was very kind to me. It was a secret gig Thin Lizzy did in Stockholm after a major show. Later at night, they did a secret small show, and we found out about it. So me and a guy went there, and one of our biggest heroes, Phil Lynott, was there, and he was after the show he was standing in by the dance floor by himself, looking a bit solemn, a bit sort of sad, and I found out later that was a good way for him to attract attention for the ladies, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, I was thinking to myself, I gotta ask something. I have to walk up to one of my heroes and ask something. What should I say? Anyway, I just walked up and first I gave him a compliment. I said, I think you're a great singer, but I have a question. How come you never had an outside singer in your band? You were singing yourself and play bass. So that was my question.
And what did he say?
I don't remember the exact answer, but he told me about heroes of his that were singers. Anything for, it was a long list, like Fats Domino. It was a lot of people that he said, I like to be like them. I like to express with vocals. And then he ended saying, but thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah.
So he was really friendly, and he gave me the first meeting with the star.
And what did he? What time period was it for him? Was it at the end of the 70s?
Yeah, it was actually just when Sykes started, so it must have been after Thunder and Lightning was that period. So it was sort of late in the Lizzy period, but I was still a young man.
Well, the song that you wrote, I think in 2004, I mean released in 2004, the song Hero.
Yeah.
It also features him in your bedroom.
Sure.
What sort of influence did he have on you as a kid and later on as a songwriter?
I think the most important influence or inspiration Phil Lynott and Thin Lizzy gave to me, I went to see them 3 or 4 or 5 times maybe, was that there was a positive vibe about him, the way he treated the audience and the way he talked to the audience, and it was a little slight bit of humor in there, and it made you feel like I can do that too. He made you feel like it was possible to be in a rock band touring the world. He made us feel like we could go home the next day and rehearse and do the same thing. He made it look easy, he made it look with a slight bit of humor, but then he came to the music. I mean, the phrasing of his vocals and the sound of his vocals and the lyrics, and it really inspired me. And the music and the guitar solo, they treated guitar solos very respectful. When a guitar solo came, it was like a song in itself, and that I've always adapted that to Europe. When we write a song, when the guitar solo comes, or a keyboard solo, or any different part of the song, should be treated like a song in itself. So you'd be taking a new journey, but it's still exciting. And instead of just filling it with muso stuff, you know, it needs to have a meaning, different parts. And Thin Lizzy taught us a lot about that.
And the way he crafted his melodies and his lyrics, was it something that was an inspiration for you too?
Yes, it was. The phrasing and the melodies as well. He was almost he wasn't rapping, but it was almost, he was like that. He was a storyteller, as good as Ian Hunter sometimes, you know. He was really good, but he also had a different element of slamming in like 30 words in a verse or something and make it work, and make it kind of sing and work rhythmically. He was a very rhythmic singer, and that influenced me. On early Europe stuff, like the first Europe album, In the Future to Come, for instance, you could hear how I do the same thing. I cram a lot of words in the verses and make it work, and it's kind of fun to do that, you know?
Well, when you had your big breakthrough in 1986, I think he passed away. I think early 1986. Do you still remember? Did it have an impact on you?
In those days, as you can imagine, in '86, that was when the big circus started. We were everybody wanted a piece of Europe, and we were out there being one of the biggest bands in the world. I remember it happening, and I was very sad. And I remember we talked about his lyrics, that when his heroes passed away, Elvis, he went out and bought a bottle of gin and a bottle of wine, and he would sit and drink all night. And we actually did that a few nights as well. We were touring, but our lives were very busy. So I suppose the impact came much later of the loss. He never toured again, or never recorded or wrote songs again. That came a bit later on.
Well, we only have limited time, but one quick thought on that first time frame of Europe. You released 5 albums. That body of work, is it one cohesive body of work for you, or?
It's a good piece of work. 5 albums. I think both bands like big bands like ABBA and Beatles have mentioned a band can only be good for 10 years, and we did 10 years, 5 albums. I don't agree with it, because you can actually pace yourselves, and you can find inspiration in working with different people in different studios. That's how we do it. You can still, get inspired. But yeah, the first period of Europe was in our 20s, teens. We started in our teens with Force. When I was 14, 15, the first incarnation of Europe. And we went for 10, it was more than 10 years, but it's an interesting period. But I find the new period of Europe is slightly more interesting. We've been more fearless, and we've been more adventurous, and we've been in control. When you're in your 20s and you're in the 80s, where a lot of money was thrown around by record companies and everybody was trying new digital equipment, and you sort of just go with it. And now we're complete nerds when it comes to recording, from everything, from the compression, from the consoles, from the cables, from the microphones, and we know how it works now. So that's kind of fun, because we know how to record and we know how to take control over the whole thing. We also have the band as a company. We license our music, we own everything, and we plan all the tours with our management, and it's very, very different.
But the songs, do the songs still stand out for you of those first 5 albums?
Yeah, there are a few songs. For instance, we tour a lot, and those songs that are proven to have the best quality for us is the ones that we play live and that stick with us. And Final Countdown is in there. I mean, Rock the Night, Superstitious have always been great to play live. We love playing it. There are other songs, Sign of the Times. There are older songs, Seven Doors Hotel, Wasted Time we throw in now from the second album. Scream of Anger has always been in our set. And sometimes Let the Good Times Rock. There are songs that have the quality to stay with us, and we play them live. So yeah, the first period have 5 to 10 songs that we throw in our set.
You say, well, the second period, but with the knowledge you have now, with your new album, what makes those 10 songs that you still include in your live set now, with the knowledge you have now, what make those songs for you timeless songs that you still use?
They have the melodies, and they have also a naive quality, not too overworked, and they are interesting to play live. They give you a kick. They make you remember things. They make you feel emotion. Those are the songs.
Okay. Well, you've released 3 albums as a solo artist.
Yeah.
What did you learn from those 3 albums that you use now?
That I was missing the band.
Yeah?
More and more. I did 3 albums. But no, it was a great period for me, because I wanted to find out if there was anything more than just, British and American or hard rock. And I wanted to find out more about lyrics and songwriting. So it started somewhere with Jackson Browne and early Van Morrison, and then he went into Neil Young, Bob Dylan, all that, Randy Newman, Bo Skaggs, everybody, all of those guys, the great songwriters and lyricists, And I took all that with me when we started with Europe again, and when we started up, John Norum also detuned his guitar quite often, and it became a new band and a new energy, and lyrically and musically, and so I guess in a way the break was good for the band. So,
what did you miss from the band?
you know, I toured with studio musicians, I toured with new people, and it was great. They were great players and everything, but you look over and you don't have that connection, because we come from the same small town, and I was kind of missing that connection on stage, you know, when you just look over, or you don't even have to look, you just know they're there, and you know John's there playing, and you don't have to worry about a thing, you know. Not, you know, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
That kind of thing you miss.